Welcome to the Chain Out Podcast with your hosts, Jeremy and Daryl.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Chain Out Podcast. We're at Season 3, Episode 130 with your two favorite co-hosts, J-Dog. No, J-Pow. What's my name? Jeremy. And you are?
D-Dog. No, can you have two co-hosts? Or do you have a host and a co-host?
Well, I co-host you, you co-host me.
Oh, okay, that's
Is that a co-host squared?
Yeah, we can do that.
Anyways.
Yeah.
That's
How you
what's
doing?
happening. I'm doing good. You?
I'm doing fantastic.
How's the chat looking this early on in the episode?
It's getting hot, isn't it? No, it was bumping in here.
Yes.
That's what Sam used to say. Yeah. Sam's in the chat. Sonia's in the chat. We have a couple of new people. Death Putt Disc guys.
Welcome back.
They were in the chat before, yeah. And Alex is in the chat. Hey, Alex, how you doing?
Welcome. Well, with this episode, this is where we start talking about Canadian A-tiers, Daryl.
That's it. We're in the swing of things now.
Yeah, the season has started, and we want to keep everybody informed on the biggest events that happened in the Canadian disc golf season. So last weekend, the Foxwood Open took place down in Baden, Ontario, or Eastern Canada, as the old Jeremy and Daryl might have said before we knew better.
Yeah.
And then spring runoff was happening in Lethbridge, Alberta. And guess what? Tonight, we've got all 4 of the Open Pro winners joining us tonight. So stay tuned to hear from Chantel Budinsky,
Wyatt Mahoney,
Jo Henderson,
and Noah Higgins.
Yeah, so grab your popcorn and we'll get those interviews started in about 15 minutes or so.
Yeah. Well, Jeremy,
yes,
we didn't talk about it last week.
No.
But the weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
I thought you were kind of floating and looking a little lighter today.
A little bit lighter, yeah. The Edmonton Disc Golf Association tradition of the vice president, which is me, who gets the coveted gold #1 tag. The vice president gets to decide who's going to be the first card to battle for it. Well, I was sick and tired of it always making its way to the same 4 or 5 people that play for it every week at Rondo League, and then it never goes anywhere else. So I set up a card with Zoe Lorenz-Bozer.
Yes.
We've had her on the podcast before. Kristen Swirls. We've had her on the podcast before. Terry Hong. All 3 FPOs. We've had her on the podcast before. Yeah. Heiserbaum, as you like to call her.
That's right. There's a song about that.
There is. Go back and check it out. And Sarah Candeliera also. Now, I don't know what I was thinking, really. Going up against 3 of Edmonton's better FPOs, as well as an up-and-coming FA1 Sarah.
Yeah, you're just a glutton for punishment.
Yeah,
aren't you?
But I'm like, you know what? Let's give somebody else a chance to take this #1 tag. And, I wasn't playing great, but I was playing pretty good. I wasn't checking scores. I was thinking I was like a few shots back. Got to hole 9. Kristen says, does anybody want to know scores? And Zoe definitely doesn't want to know scores. She's not a score checker. I'm not really a score checker, but I kind of figured I was a few back. Finished up hole 16. I'm like, I've got 2 holes to go. I know I'm probably not in it. So I checked this. I had a quick cheeky look at the scores, and I think I was 3 shots back.
Oh, okay. So
But
there
Kristen,
you had a chance.
I had a chance. Yeah. Kristen had going into hole 17, she had a 3-shot lead, I believe.
Ooh.
Finished up hole 18, and she had a 1-shot lead. If I'm right. But I know definitely going into 18, she had a 1-shot lead.
Going into it. Gotcha.
So she had to make a putt. And I kind of I didn't let her know that I checked scores, but I went up to her, kind of like stuck out my fist for a cheeky fist bump. And she said, not yet. I'm still going to make this putt. And I'm like, okay, sorry. Didn't mean to put you off. And she went ahead and missed the putt. So she went to a playoff. And I felt bad for like maybe getting in her head a little bit. But she said, no, it was already in her head that she had to make that putt. So it went to a playoff between her and Terry Hong. So they battled it out. We did hole 1.
Okay.
Push. Hole 2, push.
Right.
Got to hole 3.
Oh, and
Kristen threw a perfect shot over the trees, went past the basket long.
Wow.
Yeah. Terry kind of was in the normal landing area, a little bit short on the right-hand side. Terry had to make the putt. She missed the putt. Kristen made her putt back for the birdie, and she ended up taking down the #1 tag.
Wow,
So
that sounds like
to Kristen.
Yeah, what a great way to do it.
Yeah,
that going right into a playoff.
Yeah.
So it sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh, I have some update news.
There's some other news. Okay.
There is some update news.
Go for it.
Kristen has now informed me that she has no longer got the number one tag.
So it's already found its way along the path to the same 4 people, or what? Where has it gone?
No, she ended up playing another board member, Jason Miller.
Mm-hmm.
He is the treasurer. She ended up playing him. I'm not sure whether she played him in singles or with Tim and Travis is normally their kind of group that they go out with. I'm not sure who she was playing against, but she said that Jason ended up beating her, so he has the number one tag now.
All right, so go. There's more updates. I was going to say, go out and find Jason Miller.
Another
Maybe not.
update. Apparently now Jason is saying that he has injured his shoulder. He's got a torn rotator cuff and he won't be able to play for a while.
Sure,
But I feel like we may need to put in not an embargo, like a restriction that. I mean, obviously, I held on for a couple of weeks to make that card happen.
Yeah.
But if you don't, you've got like 2 weeks to play for it. Otherwise, you relinquish it.
Wow.
I mean, I'm just saying that now. I'm throwing it out there. But
I was going to say, or maybe Jason has to play left-handed, and that's just what it is.
There you go. I like that.
Try something like that. Well,
Yeah.
That's exciting news, and I'm glad to see that it's gotten out there, and hopefully Kristen took a picture or two with the number one tag before moving it along to the next person. But that's exciting. And glad you got out there, and it's nice that the weather's been getting good. And you didn't play much over the winter, so it's good to see you getting back out and playing too.
Just wanted to jump back into the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Tanya Ramsey, we know from Newcastle, she's in the chat.
Yes,
We know we've done updates before when the Oilers have been playing.
Right.
We've had to give live updates. We've done live updates when the Blue Jays were playing.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently now we're being upstaged by Survivor 50 finale.
Oof. Well, if you've been watching Jeff Probst since the early years,
back
with Rudy and who was the other guy that was Richard and Rudy in the first year, then maybe.
I think I stopped watching after about season 8.
Oh, well, look at you. I think I just did season 1.
There you go.
I think everyone did season 1 who was around at that time.
Yeah.
But
well, Jeremy, now that the Canadian A tiers have started, so has our Chain Out Fantasy League.
yes.
I'm excited for that. This is an opportunity for our listeners and Canadian disc golf fans to follow along with the tournaments, pick who they want to think who's going to do good, and have a chance at winning some cool prizes.
Yeah, we did. We had some great prize packs that you put together.
We did, yeah. I've been working hard over the off season. So how does it work, you ask?
I do. How does it work?
Yeah,
I
wow.
ask.
You just head over to our podcast, or our website, chainoutpodcast.com, create a free account, and then you get to pick 3 MPOs and 3 FPOs that you think will win or do well at each Canadian A-tier event.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You also get to pick what you think the winning MPO and FPO final score will be.
That's always a tough one.
Yeah, that's where it kind of separates it a little bit. If you're not sure who to pick, you can listen to our Fantasy Picks show the Wednesday before. That's available over on our Patreon. So sign up for a free account there. You'll get the link and you can watch and see who to pick and who not to pick, maybe.
That's right.
Yeah. Best part about it is that's all free. We have some amazing prize packs this year, as we've already mentioned. Should give a shout out to Dylan for, putting all his hard work and effort into our website.
I like to think of him as our website wizard myself. What do you say?
Yeah, I mean, that works.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know where you're going. Okay, so we have a quick look at the standings while we're on it.
Yeah, let's do that and show people what they can see when they get out there.
Yeah. So, looking at our standings, we can see that Soaring Bird DG is in first place currently with 988 points, taking an early lead with a cool name as well.
Yes.
Made some good picks. They got some underdog points as well, an eagle, and some prediction points. Charlie Chucks in second place with 965. And our very own Dina Talgoy, I say our very own, because she's a part of our Patreon.
Yep.
952 in third place.
Congratulations to everyone who's going so far. But I think what everybody wants to know, though, Daryl, is how are the chain out teams doing? How's your team? How's my team? How did we fare? And let me tell you this. Jeremy and Daryl are one position apart, separated by only 2 points. And who's in the lead? If we've looked at the years in the past, it would normally be Team Shambles kicking some butt. But it's not. Team J-Pow, 8th place, 819. And then Team Shambles, 9th place, 817. So if it keeps up like this, we're going to have a battle this season. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So as Daryl said, head over to our website, chainoutpodcast.com, to join the fun. We got those great prize packs for the winners, but you might be saying, oh, I didn't get to participate so far. I'm not going to win. Well, do not worry. We're going to have draw prizes. So if you play in any of the tournaments, every time you put a team in for a tournament, your name will go in for a draw.
Not if you play in the tournament.
Well, if you put your name in and pick a team, is that right? Yes.
If you play in our fantasy league.
That's it. Then you'll be in, so you can still get 7, 8 more chances to be in the draw. And one of the first prizes we're going to have in that draw is a Noah Higgins signed disc, premium plastic, PA5, 177 gram, pinky purple. Got that at Spring Runoff on the weekend. It's got his awesome Moose goalie stamp. We'll be giving that one away as part of the fantasy picks. So enter in there. And also, big shout out to PDJ Canada, who's supporting the Chain Out podcast this year. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't be possible without their help, or it makes it even more possible.
Yeah.
Maybe, is that better?
Let's go with that.
All things are possible when people help you out. That's what we know. You get by with a little help from your friends. So.
There you go. And should we go a bit of a congratulations?
Well, you've been doing all the diddly-liz. This is like breaking news.
This is breaking news. Yeah. Congratulations to former guest Jacob Visser, previous guest of the show. Him and his wife Taylor on the birth of their daughter Lainey May.
Yeah, that's right. If you remember, Jacob was heading out to college nationals. His wife didn't attend because she was at home.
Any day,
yeah, pregnant any day. He was a little worried about going. She told him, win.
That's it.
I think that was it. That was her parting word. It wasn't even words. It was win.
Yeah.
So he went out and won, and now he's winning again, and she is as well with their new daughter. So congrats to them. Also, too, coming up this weekend, the OTB Open takes place down in Stockton, California. Canadian FPO's Rebecca Dawn and Sophia Donica will be there. As always, follow them on PDGA Live. Send them messages of support on Instagram over the weekend. They do see them, they do read them, and I know it does help them and put a smile on their face as they're competing over the tournament. Mm-hmm. We got 2 amazing sponsors who support the Chain Out podcast, one of them being BR Disc Golf, the other being Disc Republic. Let me tell you a little bit about them tonight.
Go for it, quickly.
Yeah. So BR Disc Golf wants to, Brendan over there had said, let's congratulate all of the Team BR Disc Golf ambassadors who were down in Lethbridge this weekend, including Amber Chase on FPO, who placed 2nd place, Terry Heiserbaum Hong, who placed 3rd place in FPO, Jana Olson placing 1st place in FA50, Mark Thompson placing 18th in MA1, and yours truly, Mr. Jeremy, finishing 11th place in MA40. So congrats to all the ambassadors, and keep an eye on them as we compete throughout Western Alberta this year, or Western Canada this year. And then talking to Jason at Disc Republic, you know that Disc Republic is a distributor for MVP, Axiom, Streamline, and they also have an opportunity if you're a tournament director and you want to run, or you want to try to be a tournament director and do your first one.
Yeah.
The best way to do it sometimes is to run a 3-disc challenge, and they have the Circuit Challenge. And this year for the Circuit Challenge, there's 3 discs. There's the Proton Cipher, Particle Proton Paradox, and the Eclipse Electron Range. So you can organize that, put that together, talk to Jason, reach out to Disc Republic. They'll hook you up, and you can run maybe your first tournament.
Absolutely.
Yeah, with 3 awesome discs.
Can I just give a quick shout out from the chat?
Sure.
Kevin King is in the chat while we're talking about things happening. Playing in my shoes this weekend on Sunday. Get out there and see what it's like to play disc golf with some various physical obstacles.
Yes.
They do the kind of the blind
The
throw.
blind, the restricted hand.
Yeah.
They do the seated.
The seated, yeah.
Yeah, wrong hand as well,
and
I think.
Opposite hand, yeah.
And if you look in disc golf scene, you can't miss it, because I think there's about 25 of those events happening all on this weekend.
Exactly.
So,
Thanks,
all right.
Kevin.
And we do have a guest in the waiting room, and we're going to get right to them. We're just going to wrap up our top of show. So the last things that I wanted to say was, one, if you go check out our sponsors, use the code CHAINOUT at checkout, and that will help you support us, which we'd appreciate. And then we were talking about new dads there.
Yeah.
When I was down at Spring Runoff, I met another new dad.
Oh, really?
And that was Casey Hannemeyer.
Oh, right, of course.
Yeah. And I think, as we know, and you would definitely know, he's now with Innova this over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And Casey's just got his brand new discs out, and I've got one of them here. It's got his cool new stamp, which is a bobcat with a mountain background. Mm-hmm. He signed this disc and said, "Hey, guys, put that one on the wall." So this
nice
one's
of
a
him.
wall hanger for us. So that's
Perfect.
perfect.
Yeah. So apparently he's got this one here. This is the XT Pig. He also has Glow Leopard 3s and Halo Savants. I have never thrown a Savant. I want to. It's a bit like an Undertaker, I think.
Cool.
Yeah. Reach out to him on Instagram, Chunk Discs, or meet him on a course. I'm sure he'll have some for sale.
That's right. He said he has them there. That'll support him for the season. You know, he's heading. Is he heading to Lithuania? I think he's on that. Maybe not.
Because of his.
Oh yeah, he may not be, because he said to us before he used to have one thing more important than disc golf in his life, and that was his wife.
Yeah.
But now he's got two things, because he's also got his lovely daughter.
Yeah, well,
so
there you go.
and they were
That's
both
awesome.
at the tournament this weekend supporting them. It was great to see the whole Hannemeyer family together.
Perfect. Well, we do have our guest waiting in the green room, Jeremy.
Yeah. Should we
do
get to
that?
there?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should get there. So our first guest went into this weekend with the pressure of winning the Foxwood Open 3 years in a row. She stepped up, took another win, getting what, when you have an engine with 4 cylinders, what's it called?
Some people call it the four banger.
And I think that's what you decided to coin 4 wins in a row in disc golf as well. She did get the 4 banger. So join us in welcoming Chantel Budinsky to the podcast.
Hello.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Very, very happy to have you here. First off, congratulations on your 4th win. I mean, I called it the 4 banger. I don't know if that's going to stick or not, but congratulations on winning 4 in a row.
Thank you so much.
When you get to that point, Chantel, and you win 4 in a row, does it get easier each time, or do you feel like there's a lot more pressure as you go into the tournament weekend?
There's definitely pressure. I don't think it gets easier, but I just go in knowing that I can play pretty well at Foxwood, and I just want to play a good tournament.
Yeah, that's awesome. So if you look at the whole weekend, obviously, you come out victorious. So it must have gone pretty well. But how did the weekend go for you?
It was actually really nice. There was wind. It's always windy at Foxwood, but we did have the middle day, the second round. It was kind of nice. Like, it was really warm. It wasn't extremely windy, so it was really nice to have like a round where you can actually go in and putt and throw the discs you want to throw. So that was really nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Cool. Well, and you said windy, and you're right. In the spring, whether it's out here in Alberta or it's out in Ontario, you never know what kind of weather you're going to get. But I know Foxwood has been famous for also getting some rain, some lightning, things like that. What was the rest of the weather like for the weekend? Did you get any of that type of stuff?
Yeah, so there was a delay, I believe, on the first day, but it didn't affect us because we were later in the afternoon, which is also weird because usually FPO is early in the morning. So that was hard to get used to. But yeah, other than that, it was just the wind, but we had pretty good weather, I would say.
Oh, and yeah, and speaking of that, you're totally right. A lot of times, even out here, was the FPOs are first card out, right? First ones to go out, waking up and getting out there at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. What time did you get out, and what time were you finishing your rounds at?
We were out at, I think, 2:42 was our tee time.
Okay.
So we were able to get up early and go play other courses in the morning. So that was nice. But yeah, it's just, I don't really like playing later. I want to just get my round over with and just have the rest of the day.
So was Chris playing?
No, he didn't play this year.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking maybe, normally you would be playing first thing in the morning and maybe he'd be playing a little bit later. So I wondered if that was kind of flipped. But if he wasn't playing, was he caddying for you?
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah. So if you look over the weekend here, rather than go into just a deep dive of every round you played, what would you say were some of your personal highlights over the weekend, or the things that are sticking out now that you've had a couple days to think about it?
Well, I'm just really proud at the amount of birdies that I was able to get this year, because Foxwood is more of like get your pars and move on kind of course. But slowly, I think that the changes that they did really helped the FPO field score better. So that was really nice, getting a lot of birdies. And I think I birdied hole 18 every day. So that's also something that I was proud about.
Yeah, that's a
tricky one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from what we've seen, yeah. Speaking of the birdies that you had, like Jeremy said, we're not going to deep dive into every round, but we're picking out a few highlights. We saw in round 2 that you hit 4 birdies in a row, or you hit 4 birdies in a row, sorry, and you also scored birdies on all 3 of the par 5s. So
Oh, okay.
you didn't know that? Yeah, you hit birdies on all 3 of the par 5s. Were you just in a zone, or like what was it about your game? You just felt really good over the whole weekend?
I guess I was in the zone. I'm getting better at playing par 4s and 5s. The thing that's weird though with Foxwood is it's a driver's course and I'm not comfortable with my drivers right now. I'm still learning them. I was like stepping up to the tee being like, oh, what should I throw? I have no idea. I guess I'll throw this one. So that's pretty cool that I birdied all the par 5s that one day.
Yeah, like it just looked like that was the day. And I think, as you were saying, that was maybe the day the weather was a little bit nice. So just imagine if the weather was great 3 rounds in a row, that course, you'd just destroy it, I'm sure.
It would be nice to try.
Just when you mentioned there about you're still not sure about your drivers, I've been enjoying watching all your new videos about selection and which discs you want to go for. How close to dialing in your bag are you? Is there still quite a few discs out there you've yet to try?
I feel like my bag's set besides my drivers. I'm having a hard time just figuring out what I want. I mean, I've had, with Prodigy, I had a 4-year-old bag, so all of my drivers were really nice and beat in, and I knew exactly what they were going to do. Now I just feel like I have a bunch of really stable things that don't flip or they just aren't trustworthy. So I'm really trying to find the discs that work for me.
Oh, okay.
Right.
No, that's good. And so as you're going through those discs and taking a look at them, have there been any new favorites that, I'm sure some of the Prodigy stuck around from what we could tell from your videos, but what are some of your favorite new additions to the bag?
Oh, I have a lightweight Zeus that I've really been liking. I can't throw it too much in the wind, but it does go really far when it's not windy. So that's definitely one of the drivers that I like. And I've really been liking the Discraft Cicada as well. That's a really nice disc. It's just so straight. And then a Mako 3 I have in Star Plastic, I believe. That one's like just dead straight. I love straight discs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mako 3 is my favorite. And I don't know if it's one of your favorites, but I know you've been liking the Leopard 3 as well.
Yes, actually, I do like it, but I took it out of the bag because I've been liking the Sting more. I think it's the same numbers, but it's Discraft.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
So, and out of all of those ones, if you were to say one was your workhorse this weekend, which one was it? Because there's going to be a lot of our listeners who are looking to put a new disc in their bag. And if it's working for you, maybe it would work for us.
Ooh, I don't think any of those were my workhorse. Because it was so windy. So I was relying on, I have another more stable Zeus that I was throwing. And I also still bag a D1 that is like a really nice and stable disc that I was throwing into headwinds. I don't know. I was just throwing so many discs. I was actually throwing an Expanse, a Thought Space Expanse, but I threw it in the middle of the pond. So that one's no longer, but that was a fun one for the weekend.
Yeah. Well, as you were leaving Prodigy there, you were clearing out some of your old discs, and I picked up a number of them, including some of your air discs. Like they weren't your stamps, but they were some extra ones you had. So I got a really nice M4 Air that I'm loving right now. So I think, do you still have discs available that are in the collection there if people are interested?
I do. I have to go through because the pictures are a little, I feel like it's hard to find ones that are available still. So I'm going to redo it. I have more coming as well because I still have a stamp from Prodigy that I will be getting. So I'll have another round of discs sometime this year.
Oh, right. That's awesome to watch.
I think that's the same thing that happened with Casey when we seen him down at Spring Runoff last year.
Yeah.
He had an extra run from Prodigy that he had extra discs to get rid of as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, when we were chatting last week and we were talking about the 2 tournaments coming up, we looked at the FPO group playing and saw that there was only 4 FPOs playing in Foxwood, but what a killer's list of FPOs playing when you've got you, Alicia, your good buddy Kat, and Alex as well. How was it playing with the 4 of you for the weekend?
It was so fun. We had so much fun. It's sad that we only had one card, but we just kept joking around saying that we were lead and chase card, and we were just having an awesome time.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of touched on it a little bit there earlier. We spoke to Sean and Daryl last week about some of the changes they made to the course. How did you obviously you said some of the changes were better for the FPOs. How did you like the changes that they made?
Yes, I really liked them. Besides, I believe hole 13, they have like an OB little section, and that hole is already pretty hard. It's like 400 feet downhill, and the landing zone is right where they put the OB. So that's the only one that I didn't like. But I really liked the changes on hole 1. They moved us to a shorter tee, which was nice. I still played it really terrible. Maybe next year I'll be able to play that one a little better. But yeah, they did another couple changes that were really nice for us.
Yeah, that's good.
Right.
Well, that was when we did talk with Sean and Daryl about it. They said there were some things they'll never touch. Like hole 18 will always be very similar. It's always going to be an island. It's that epic finish. I think hole 1, you and I and Daryl have talked about it before. It's always a beast. It's like no matter when, every time you think you got it figured out, it sounds like the wind shows up or the OB creeps in somehow closer. But it sounds like they're doing the right things by changing some things, but making sure to keep the core the same as well.
I just see someone say I went OB on. I think a lot of people went OB on hole 18.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
No, so yeah, taking down this win is a good start. If you want to call it a start to your season. Obviously, you've had a few events in your bag already. What does the rest of your season look like?
Pretty slow, actually. I think I only have, I'm going to say maybe 10 tournaments this year. So that's just so much less than previous years. So I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do yet, but I am signed up for Idlewild and Ledgestone. I'm on the wait list, so we'll see if I get into those. I'm really hoping, because those are the two that I really like going to. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
And how about Worlds? Is Worlds on your list, being in Michigan?
Yes, of course. It's 45 minutes from my house, so I'm definitely going.
Oh, cool. And then with being that close to you, how are you familiar with those courses? Have you played them before?
I have played Black Locust a lot, but not they redid the format. Well, they like extended the course, so it's not like the little dinky course that it usually is. They made it hard for Worlds, right? They have to do that. So
Right.
I haven't played that yet, but I am familiar with the course. And then of course Toboggan, I've played D-Glow probably 3 or 4 times now. So we'll see. I'm hoping to get a couple practice rounds before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that'll be awesome. Well, we're excited. We know this is probably just the first of many times we're going to get a chance to talk to you this year with the way, if this is how it's going to start, we know you're just going to keep dialing in that bag and getting even better and better. So we're excited for that and to watch your season.
Well, thank you. I really hope so.
Perfect. Well, thank you for taking the time to join us. As Jeremy said, we'll hope to see you again soon. And
yeah.
Not congrats. Good luck. That's the word I'm looking for.
luck.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck for the rest of the year.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Well,
Thanks.
And Chantel, before we do let you go, we always want to give you a little bit of time there. So I know you're not sponsored with Prodigy, but if you have any other sponsors that you wanted to shout out, or if there's anything you want to shout out, go right ahead.
Of course. Well, I'm still with Disc Republic. I think this is my 3rd year with them, and they've just been such a big help. And yes, use my code Miss Frisbees at checkout.
Yes.
Awesome.
That's fantastic. Oh, and where'd she go?
There you go.
There she is. Awesome. Well, and also too, Chantel, as the year progresses, as you know with us, is if you've got anything else that comes up and you want us to share, just reach out and we'll be happy to let our listeners know.
Of course. Thank you guys so much.
Awesome. Thanks for your time.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, and Daryl, I love this. The A-tier recap ones.
Yeah.
It's like bang, bang, bang. Because we've got
Exactly.
another guest just waiting and ready to go. Hey.
Guest is in the green room. They're pacing. Let's get straight to him.
Okay.
Okay. So our next guest is a 10-18 rated. After coming in second at last year's Foxwood Open, he came back and battled hard against the likes of Thomas Gilbert, Marty Hendel, Cam Zanini to win the event. Oh, did we forget to mention that he's also 16 years old?
What?
Exactly. Join us in welcoming Wyatt Mahoney to the podcast.
Hello.
Hey, there's Wyatt. Welcome, Wyatt. How you doing?
Hey. Good. How are you?
Good. It's awesome to have, we do a lot of these A-tier recaps and we get to see some of the same faces year after year. But this is a brand new guest and we're excited to have you.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Cool. Well, first off, we got to start out. Congratulations on the big win at the Foxwood Open over the weekend. How did it feel to take that one down?
Felt great. I mean, wow. Shooting three about 1050 rated rounds, averaging 1050. I think it was the highest average I've ever had. So it felt amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. I would be happy with an average of 1050 rated as well.
Yeah, that's just huge.
Yeah, we mentioned at the top you're 1018 rated now, but we imagine it's going to be going up next month after, like you said, shooting a 1050 rated tournament. So if you look back at the whole weekend, what was working for you?
I had a brand new enforcer, and it was just flying absolutely perfectly, especially in the winds and all the headwinds. It had all the distance I needed and the stability to hold up with the headwind, and that was probably the MVP disc for me.
Yeah,
it was the enforcer.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, obviously, I'm going to guess because Daryl and I were MA40, MA50 type players, still working on getting up to that 1018 rating like you.
Yeah.
So tell us the numbers on the enforcer so we can probably say one day maybe we'll have a chance to throw it.
I don't know them exactly, but I know it's around a speed 13, 12 maybe. Doesn't have a whole lot of glide, but it has a fade of, I believe, 4, so it's very overstable.
Super overstable.
Yeah. I'm sure
Yeah.
Sam will be able to tell us in the chat. Sam knows all the numbers.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So Wyatt, with that as well, because I haven't got a chance yet, because were new on the radar. We did see that you were in the competition last year. Are you a great forehand player? Are you a great backhand player? Are you a good mix of them all? What are some of the throws that kind of help you on the course?
I'm pretty much backhand dominant. Recently I've been practicing my forehand a lot more, and it's getting a lot better, but still don't quite have all the confidence I need with it to really use it in a tournament unless I have to.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right. And do you ever have any Simon line throws or any overhand shots or any of those things that you do?
Not really, unless like I'm really like in the brush and like have to throw like a overhand to get out or something, but yeah, not really.
Okay.
Just
Cool.
grinding it out, Jeremy.
See, we're learning about Wyatt.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I throw a lot of backhands. I used to throw some forehands, not many,
Yeah.
but tells me I got a chance.
Yeah. There's always a chance.
There's always a chance. So, Wyatt, when we looked at your PDGA page, we saw that you're located in Glastonbury, Connecticut. Now, how far away is that away from the Foxwood course?
It was about 7.5 to 8 hours, so it wasn't like too bad of a drive.
Okay. And the trip home was uneventful? You were just probably smiling from ear to ear the whole way?
Yeah, pretty much.
Good stuff. And then what did you do? So you would have got the trophy. How did the trophy rank for you compared to other ones that you might have won? Did it have a place already waiting in your house to be put up on the mantle or anything?
I have a place for it right around my computer here. And it's a nice trophy. I actually have it right here.
Okay.
Just right here. So I got this, and it has this disc. It has the stand right here.
Oh,
Oh,
perfect.
So
okay.
like Foxwood Open right on it, MPO first. And
Nice.
I put it right over here, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
So there was room around your computer? I'm guessing there's not a lot of space
Yeah.
with all the wins that you've been racking up, I'm sure, over the years.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, we had a question in the chat, and it kind of leads us into our next question here. And we've seen that you've played a number of Pro Tour events this year. And this past weekend, you got to play with some of Canada's best players like Thomas Gilbert, Martin Hendel. Now, as a young player, how has it been playing against some of these seasoned pros? Have they been accepting of you?
Yeah, they've been very accepting. They're all super nice and very talented at the game. Playing with Thomas this weekend, he has laser putts. Like you always know he's probably gonna make it. And Martin, his putting in the headwind was phenomenal. I mean, every headwind it was just glided right into the basket, and he had very great ankle control. And on tour, all those pros, I mean, they're very nice people. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
How have you enjoyed playing on tour? Obviously, you're playing local B and C tiers, but stepping it up to pro tour events, going out there and competing. How has that been for you?
It's been great. It's been amazing. You need a lot of endurance to play on those pro tour events. Like the courses are just so long and hard, and I mean, it's crazy how someone can do that for a whole year, and even longer. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, when we looked through your PDGA page and saw those tournaments you were playing, I realized that you and I were both in Jonesboro. I was carrying a bag for one of the FPOs for that weekend, which I've mentioned probably ad nauseum here, but
just a few times.
And I would agree with you. Just carrying someone's bag for 3 rounds was exhausting, let alone playing that course and all the ups and the downs and that. So definitely could appreciate that. Mm-hmm. As you've kind of hit the pro tour side and been playing that and, growing up probably disc golf, I'm guessing, was when you first started doing that, did you get starstruck at all? Like I did this in Jonesboro when I met some of these pros that I'd only seen on TV and stuff before, or is that long past you at this point?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy seeing them like actually play in person. 'Cause like, I mean, growing up, I watched like every event. And I like Paul Macbeth and all of them. I always watched them, and actually seeing them play in person and playing with them was amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, last week we had the tournament directors. We had Sean O'Reilly and Daryl Bankus on the show as well, and they mentioned that they were going to make some changes to the course this year as opposed to last year. How did you like the changes that they made? Was there any changes that stuck out to you?
Yeah, I liked all the changes, honestly. Hole 16 with that tight Mando down like 180 feet down the fairway. It's very taunting to get up to and just know that like you got to hit that Mando or it's like a bogey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about hole 18? We always hear how that's a real big separator and probably puts the nerves on as you're finishing the tournament. What do you think of that one?
I like hole 18 because like if you got to go for it, you got to go for it. Mm-hmm. The green, and it's very scary, I will say.
And we've talked before about once we progress through the A tiers, it always seems that hole 1 is the hardest. Like whether the tournament directors set out this way or just happens to be, but hole 1 always seems to be a bit daunting. And Foxwood Open is no different. How did you like hole 1 as a starter hole?
I love hole 1. Hole 1's a great hole, and you're on top of the hill. And the wind's just blasting in your face. It's so scary, but it's an amazing hole.
There you go. It's what you live for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just as we were talking to Chantel and kind of seeing some of the posts that were coming out over the weekend, that the weather was a little bit mixed as it always is in the spring, some wind and such. Do you find that you play better in the wind? Does that give you an advantage over other people, or are you just trying to survive it, or what's your approach when it gets windy?
When it's windy, I mainly just try to survive it, and if I end up playing super well, I end up playing super well. Yeah.
Well, and I think with the Enforcer, with the numbers the way that you said, that's probably one that you're not worried it's not going to flip over on you or anything as you're throwing it down. Yeah.
We had an update. It's 13.503.
13.503. Okay. Yeah.
That's what the stock stamp numbers are.
That is a good disc for sure.
Yeah. Well, last year, we were lucky enough to go to Nationals, Canadian Nationals out in Ontario. We played out there. And one of the highlights for us, apart from playing 3 amazing courses, was in the evenings, we got to play some crokinole. We know that Jeremy Tracy was out there with his Tracy boards. Did you have a chance to play any crokinole while you're out there?
No.
You missed out. Have you ever played crokinole before? Do you even know what we're talking about?
So.
No?
Okay.
No.
Well, if you get a chance next year, give it a try, because we were kind of the same way. We were like, Daryl's, it's more of a Canadian thing.
Right.
And Daryl, you were aware of it, but maybe not as familiar. But when you get it, you're like flicking little discs and trying to get them closest to the middle.
Yeah.
And it was almost like disc golf a little bit, right? Like there was
A little.
or it gave you same kind of little vibes to it, or
Yeah.
yeah.
It was just one of those extra great things that they put on at the event. And, just so it's something else for you to do. So you're not just playing the tournament and going home sort of thing. But, when you're leading the tournament you're going to come take the win down, you need to get all the rest you can. So
That's it.
yeah.
Now, was there a time there, Wyatt, because you did take the lead early in that first round, was there any time you were pretty comfortable, or were you pretty nervous because you knew Thomas and Martin could do pretty much anything to get back in it? Or was there a point at all over the weekend where you're like, no, I got this, I'm feeling pretty comfortable?
Oh, I was nervous like the entire time. Like, especially when that last round came and it was just like so windy. It was probably the windiest I've ever played in, and just that 5-stroke lead didn't feel like 5 strokes in that last round. It felt less.
Right. And then what about how did you, like we've watched on coverage before where in that very last round, nobody's taken any chances when they've got a bit of a lead. They're not even going to take a 10-foot putt. They're going to throw it under the basket and then drop it in. Is that the approach you took, or walk us through that last hole and how it kind of finished and what you were thinking?
So the last hole, I was just like trying my best to play for par. The wind started to die down, which was nice. So I pured the gap at the middle, at the beginning of the fairway, and then laid up my next shot, didn't go for it, and then put my next shot like 10 feet from the basket and just put it in.
And that, okay, nice. And then did you have a winning speech already planned? Had you been thinking about it, or did you just go off the cuff, or how did that go?
No, I didn't even plan it.
That's good. Well, I know the reason I asked that one is recently with Paul Ulibarri, I had heard him talking because he'd been waiting 15 years for a win, and he'd been visualizing it and imagining it for so long that he'd practiced the speech over and over and over again. And I think, Daryl, you'd mentioned how well he sounded. Mm-hmm. That's because he'd said that speech 100 times before it ever happened. So yeah. But now you'll know you've got it dialed. You'll be all set. So good stuff.
Ready for the next one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of the next one, it looks like it's been a busy year for you so far. What else do you have planned for the rest of the year? What tournaments have you got coming up, or which tournaments are you most looking forward to?
Well, shout out to New England, because every week from now until July, I've got like an A tier.
Nice.
And I'm hoping to do a couple more Pro Tour events, World Championships, and USDGC.
Oh, sweet.
Congratulations on getting qualified for that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thanks, yeah.
Yeah, we've heard that event, like there's a lot of the USDGC doubles, so a lot of amateurs that we know will win one of those events and head down and then maybe spend the week there to see you and the other pros playing. But what we've heard is being down in South Carolina there, it's just a whole different experience. So now you've been down there before and played, have you?
Yeah, last year.
Last year, yeah. And so you know what you're getting into. Do you got anything, like a favorite part about that weekend that you're looking forward to?
The course is absolutely beautiful, and the vendors there, the food trucks, they're so exciting to go and see what's new there.
Yeah. And I hear the Fly Mart is quite the thing to behold too, because when you go, just use Jonesboro again as an example. You got the Disc Golf Pro Tour.
Did you go to Jonesboro?
Yeah, I did. Oh. I don't know if I told you.
No,
but
you
didn't.
No.
But when you go there, you've got the Disc Golf Pro Tour. You've got Dr. Christie was there. And then you have the Innova truck. So you got a few different vendors there. But from what I understand at USDGC, it's like it might as well be a shopping mall with everybody who's there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
I just want to jump back into the chat. I'm not sure if I did bring this up on screen, but I know we didn't talk about it. So we had a comment here from Alex who said, Wyatt gave me his disc with his design for free. He was so nice. So there you go. Shout out to you for giving back to somebody else. Nice.
Yeah, and with that, do you have any of those discs handy? We're putting you on the spot there. Show us the design you've got on them.
Yeah, got one right here actually. So, got this design right here. We got the mountains in the background. We got the waves, and it kind of shows how like you flow with the waves, and you climb the mountain to get to where I am right now.
There you go.
Yeah, that's great.
I like a stamp with a story.
That's it.
A design with a story, yeah.
So what discs do you have with that stamp on there?
I believe I have verdicts, princes, wardens, daggers, and maybe criminals. Yep,
And
those are them.
criminals as well. So
Yep.
I'm sure if people were interested in, they're listening to you tonight and going, man, this Wyatt guy, he's the kid to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So if they want to get one of your discs, what's the best way for them to reach out to you?
Probably email me.
Okay.
Contact or my Instagram or my Facebook.
Okay.
Probably the best ways.
Cool. Well,
Awesome.
what we'll do is we have your Instagram and your email. So if you're okay with that, we could put it probably in the show notes.
We
and,
can do that.
and that way people can reach out to you that way if they want to get a disc for sure.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah. It's been awesome chatting to you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Before we let you go, is there anybody or anything you want to thank? Any sponsors or anything like that? Now is your chance.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for having me. I'd like to thank Sean O'Reilly for and staff for putting on the Foxwood Open. I'd like to thank my sponsors, Dynamic Discs, Disc Golf 978, Cardinal, Drive Bags, and Mojo Gear. And I'd love to thank my parents.
Wow.
Perfect.
Yeah. It sounds like you got a lot of people supporting you. A lot of people know that it's good to bet on Wyatt, I think. Hey, Daryl?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Wyatt, we hope to, if you come up to Canada again, we'll be definitely watching you, even on the U.S. side and on the Disc Golf Pro Tour, we'll be keeping an eye. But if anything ever comes up, as we said to Chantel too, once you become a guest, just reach out to us, and we're always happy to help you out and support you.
Okay, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for your time. Enjoy your rest of your season and good luck.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, man. Thanks.
Thanks, Wyatt. That's a great guest.
Yeah.
I love talking to new people, and I love, what we see over and over again when it comes to disc golf is you get these young players playing, and he's been playing. He's seasoned for his age, right?
Yeah,
Like he's
exactly.
playing for quite a while, but they come on and they're so well spoken, and it's like they've been doing interviews forever. And I don't know how many, if this was Wyatt's first podcast or not, but
I think he said it was his first podcast. Yeah.
yeah, oh man, it's like he knows what he's doing already.
The good thing about the good thing about Wyatt is it sounds like he loves to play disc golf.
Yes.
Like he said, he was getting out there in the wind, and he was like, "This is the craziest wind I've ever played in." But he enjoyed the holes, he enjoyed the course, and just loved getting out there and playing.
Oh,
even
for sure.
even with all the pressure.
That's it. Yeah, and it looks like he had a lot of support here in the chat. So thanks to everybody in the chat who came in to support Wyatt there and give him some cheering. And
Yeah.
yeah.
He also wants to, because I think when we put him on the spot, maybe at the end there, he also wants to shout out Team Meadowbrook and Drew Mullen for that incredible stamp.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Fantastic.
give them a shout out as well.
Yeah, definitely. And if you are tuning in and you're going to be tuning out right away, do us a favor, hop over to YouTube there and subscribe to the channel and support us that way as well. But, I thought our listeners are usually pretty eagle-eyed, Daryl, and I thought they might have spotted something, but did anybody spot it?
Nobody has spotted it. I mean,
Really?
maybe, they notice it sometimes, but they didn't notice it today.
I didn't notice it, hey?
They didn't notice that we are sporting 2 new hats.
Yes.
The white hat in the background there is the one that you can normally see us wearing. But right now, we have a dark gray with a light gray border, and then we have a light gray with the red chain out and a dark gray border.
Yeah, we've had
2
a lot of
new
people.
hats.
Yeah, people asking us for hats once they saw, because that first run we just made 2. We were heading to nationals. We
needed
just got
something.
our brand new logo, needed them quick, got them done.
Yeah.
Wore them to nationals, and everyone said, "Hey, how do I get my hands on a hat?" Well, we've got hats now. You can get the red one or the white one with the CO logo.
Yeah.
And we're going to have them available. We've been talking about it. I believe they're going to be a pretty easy price.
We'll talk to Dylan as well, see what we can do on the website. But if you see us on the course, just come up to us and ask us, and I'm sure we'll get you one.
We will. For a crisp $20 bill.
There you go.
One of these hats can be yours. And then if you do need it shipped out to you, I think we can probably get them in those $5 mailers, and then we can send them across Canada that way. So, yeah. And then, Sonia just put a nice comment in there too.
Sorry. Sam says they're great. Sam with the puns.
See what you did there. And Sonia asked about our jerseys because we have some jerseys available through the.
Probably should mention that I think pre-orders is coming to a close pretty soon, if not already passed.
Yeah, I think the deadline was supposed to be Monday, but if Brendan's been busy, we might have a little bit of a window for a few more orders for now.
I'm just going to the website. If you go to brdiscgolf.com, and if you click on shop and then click on apparel, then you go to polos and jerseys. It's still there. It's still available. Still showing.
You'll have to share it up there real quick for anybody who wants to see it.
I can do that. If you are looking to get one of our jerseys, you can get the lovely Daryl design jersey, the nice flower power, nice colorful design, like vibrant, like happy, positive energy. Or if you're not a fan of Daryl and you're a fan of Jeremy, I didn't say anything. I just said if you're not a fan of Daryl and you're a fan of Jeremy, you could also get a lovely blue ice mountain design.
Right. And it's funny when you and I were...
You thought I was going to be negative then, didn't you?
No. I was just chuckling. And I think it's kind of interesting. You and I chatted about it, was our personalities are maybe the opposite of what people would have thought. Because like you've got a bubbly personality, but I'm kind of the loud guy. I'm always shaking hands and chatting with people, giving people hugs and stuff.
It is funny that way.
You would think I'd be the flower power jersey.
Yeah.
And that you might be like, I'm a little bit cooler, a little bit quieter like you are. And maybe you'd be the blue one. But maybe that's the yin and yang of it.
It is funny. You have the outgoing personality, yet you like muted, solid colors, nothing too garish sort of thing. But you have that outgoing personality, whereas I'm the sort of person that likes to hang in the background. I'll only speak to you if you really, if somebody else introduces me or, that sort of thing. But yet I like to wear colorful clothes and I like to kind of stand out a little bit that way. So, yeah.
So thanks to Sonia for picking up one of our jerseys.
Mark said he's already ordered his as well.
All right. So we got a couple out there. I've ordered mine. Have you ordered yours?
I've ordered mine.
Yeah. So you'll see those on the podcast.
I didn't order yours.
No, I ordered mine. I think I might have got an Edgo one too. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, I should have done that. I didn't even think of that, but I should have ordered an Edgar one as well.
Yeah. Well, again, we appreciate any support you can give us, and we're trying to give you different ways to do that.
And
beyond.
Like we said, if you don't want a jersey, you can always get a hat.
That's right. And so, as we go, we've got our next guest, and we're going to move over. We took care of Foxwood Open. We're going to head over to the other A-tier that was happening in Canada this weekend.
Yeah.
So let's head over to the spring runoff. Our next guest might have been fighting the cold down in Lethbridge over the weekend, but her hand was pretty hot as she managed to take down the win for the second year in a row. Join us in welcoming Jo Henderson to the podcast.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Jo. How are you doing?
Doing really well. Thank you very much. I'm finally warm.
Yeah, it's good to have you here. Start off right off the top of the bat by saying congratulations on your spring runoff win.
Thank you very much. I have the paddle up there somewhere. There it is.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that FPO champion on there. And
there you go.
And that beautiful spring runoff logo. And I know each year it looks just a little bit different, but you've got it on the engraving there. We have it on the shirt here, the jerseys that we got. I ended up getting one of the stained glass items here for the podcast. It's such a good one. So that looks really nice there behind you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I could probably start my own dragon boat, like something or other with Amber now. I think that's what we were saying, is that we could basically start our own team now. We have enough paddles between the two of us. So it's pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say with that, you're right, because last year you would have had your first one, and if you were out on the lake, you would have just been going around in circles, but now you'd be just getting right across that lake.
That's right.
That is pretty awesome. I mean, we see people getting trophies, but they're kind of like things that they can hold and things like that. They can take them home. But when I see you look at the Edmonton Open, that's what a big trophy. I don't think they get to take home. It's one of those things that they get to show.
Right.
But looking at the paddle, I was always wondering, is that something that you get your name engraved on, or do you actually get to take it home? But I guess you actually
get to take it. Yeah. I have two now. So yeah, I'm ready. I have one for my cats, is what I joke about, because it's a little bit smaller. It's like, roughly half the size. And the other one is more of a Joe-sized paddle. So that's good.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well,
Yeah.
this one was, as we've said, was your second win in a row at this tournament. How does this one compare to last year's? And I asked that because we know last year you were just kind of coming back after some injuries, and that was the start of your season. And now you're rolling through a great season last year and then starting with another win. How do they compare?
Well, yeah, it's interesting. The tournaments are so different, honestly. I felt like last year the weather was perfect. Everything felt amazing. Like I didn't really question any of my decision making or anything like that. But with that wind and that cold that you add in there, like it really does kind of mess with you mentally, especially with how swirly the wind was. I know, Jeremy, you were there, so you know how swirly it was. But yeah, there was some moments where I was like, I don't know if this is the right disc. And at the previous year, like 2025, everything I was kind of like dead sure on because I just felt like I knew my disc so well, and I did have to put in a couple more stable ones in the bag. So just trying to figure out the angles and working on that. But yeah, other than that, I felt like, yeah, the first year that I won, I would say there was a little bit more of it was more, I don't know, more exciting because it was my first A-tier win. This one, it feels like I'm so glad that I did it, but there was definitely moments where I was like, why am I so nervous? This is so scary. Yeah. Felt almost more nervous this time than last time.
Yeah.
That was something that was kind of crazy for me because I didn't get a chance to go down there this year. I was sitting at home watching PDGA live, as everybody should do, watching and follow along their scores.
Yes. Yes.
But I was sitting on my deck in shorts and a t-shirt, and then I see photos of you in a toque wearing mittens,
Yes.
and like so wrapped up. I'm like, are you still in Alberta? I mean, I know you can get that amount of difference in weather, but it just so. You know, I heard that Calgary got a dump of snow. You had mentioned that you got some sleet or rain. At some
we had
point.
a little bit of sleet, nothing for a long period of time, but
Right.
enough to make us wake
Yeah.
up and realize it was there.
Some harsh conditions for sure.
Yeah. And as
For
Joe
sure,
said,
for sure.
as you said, Joe, too, there was tough with that wind because on some of those holes, there's a little bit of a raise or a little bit of a drop, and you'll be standing on the tee box. It feels completely fine. And then you throw your disc and you're like, what happened to my disc? Because there's wind further out from where you are. So it made it
especially
tough.
because these holes are so long and you do need all that distance that you can get. Like sometimes your disc would just get shot down immediately. Like some of my approaches, I was like, what is happening? Like this is not like I would throw a zone or an NV like as an approach disc, and sometimes I was like, this is not acting the way it's supposed to. Like what is happening? So it did definitely make me reconsider some of my choices for sure.
Yeah. Well, I think I want to throw out there, and just you and I should talk about this because we both had to compete in it. Mark's in the chat here as well. He had a chance to see it. What are your thoughts about Noah's decision to put a super tall basket on hole number 3 for us this year?
Yeah, that basket was like so deadly. It was so tall. It was crazy. It was taller than me for sure. And it was funny. Like that was probably the hole I was the most nervous for, but I actually ended up parring that hole and getting away clean both rounds. Wow. And then right after that, it was 5, 6, and 7 that got me. I don't know why this tournament, it just happened on Nicholas Sharon. But yeah, but I was intrigued with his idea. I thought it was kind of mean, but also I feel like I got away kind of lucky. I did par it both times, so I feel like I handled it okay. But yeah, I do agree, it was wild.
It was wild. And I think it really, Daryl, what it was it was a good idea by Noah because it took a hole that might have been just a regular par hole and it really made you make the decision. You're like, am I going to run this? And because that basket is on a downhill slope, if you're on the wrong side of it and you run it and you miss, that 3 that you thought you were getting could quickly become a 5, maybe even a 6.
Right.
So.
Or a 6, yeah. I definitely saw that on a couple cards that I was watching the scores come in on, and actually, unfortunately, Terry as well. Like, it can happen so quickly. Like, she had a really, really good putt, and then all of a sudden just rolled all the way down the hill, like maybe 50 feet. So, very easy potential for rollaways, yeah.
Well, I remember last year when we were walking around River City Cup following the FPOs in their final card, we were following Joe, and I think it was hole 14 where it's a little bit taller of a basket, and that's just at Hermitage. So I've seen photos of you standing next to this other tall basket. So it would just must have been brutal.
Yeah.
Was there a step ladder to get your disc out?
There should have been, even for me. Like, I think I had to push with one hand and reach over with the other to get it out. So, but yeah, if we go back to your event there, Jo, what were some of your personal highlights or maybe some favorite moments either on or off the course from the weekend?
Yeah, I would say some of my favorite moments would have been probably my 958 rated round against Casey Hannemeyer, which was crazy. And then also, I think there was a couple other MPO players that I was like, what the heck? I got the same score as them. That's crazy. But yeah, that round in itself, although it was very, very cold, it felt like -6 when we started, I think, -6 or -4. Although it was so cold and the wind chill was crazy and my eyes were watering and all of the things. I felt like I really had control over that round specifically because the wind, I felt like whichever direction it was just going that direction, right? Like I can usually game plan pretty good when I know what the wind is going to do. It's just when it gets that swirly nature that I'm like, okay, we got to reconvene, or like, hopefully the wind is doing this. I don't actually know. Maybe it's doing something else down in the fairway. But yeah, that technical course really felt like it suited my game and felt like I just played very clean, which felt awesome.
Yeah, and we should tell everybody about that. So that second round is at a course called Aperture, I'm going to put quotes on it as shorter only because it's shorter than the big Nicholas Sharon course. And the FPOs at this tournament went out first thing in the morning, wind blowing, wind chill making it below zero, and you're out there, and on the bigger course, there's a extra tee pad. So the pros, the MPO pros, they play and they get rated differently. But you were on the level with the MPOs because everybody was throwing from that same tee pad at this course. So when you got through your round and you came out, I believe, with a +1 is how you finished that day. Yeah. And then you started to see the other scores start rolling in. What were you thinking when you started to see that?
Yeah, I mean, like last year I shot a -2 in like decent conditions. I think it rained at the end of our round, probably like right at the end last year. So I was like, okay, -2, like that's pretty good. And then when I saw my +1, I was like, oh yeah, there's like definitely a couple holes that I could have, like I missed a short 15-footer, like hit right side and it was bad. But then yeah, and then I had another one that on hole 17, I accidentally jump put it straight into a tree and then missed that par save. But then, yeah, so I had all these little things that I was like, oh, well, I could have cleaned that up, whatever. And I was like, okay, I still got the hot score on the card. It's fine. And then as I saw the scores come in, I was so shocked to see that the MPO were actually struggling quite a bit with this course. Mm-hmm. And just this round specifically, I was shocked. And even Noah and I were talking, because I stayed actually in Noah and Rebecca's trailer with Cam.
Okay.
That's my husband. And yeah, and so we were staying there and we were chatting about the round, being like, like comparing the ratings from last year to this year, it was just crazy to see the difference in like what a score could have been. Like last year, I think my -2 was rated way lower, way lower than what my +1 was rated. So yeah, it was just really interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of that, I don't know if you when you were speaking to Noah, I'm not sure if you checked, but if you played MPO on that day, your +2 would have had you in 8th place.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
you would have been top 10 on the MPO
top
side
10
with that
MPO
score.
Exactly.
In Alberta. I love that.
Yeah, that's
cool.
Fantastic. Mm-hmm. Just going a little bit before on the Friday before you set out on your round, you did the women's clinic. How did that go?
It went really well. It was really cool to be a part of the WGE and like be able to provide that for the Lethbridge community and anyone else who is like attending the tournament. So we got to do some putting and backhand and sidearm and even just like some mental game talking about how to like control your emotions on the course and like, I don't know, control your game plan, all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, it was really awesome. I think we had about 12 women and juniors that showed up. So that was really awesome. And lots of support from them, and a lot of honestly, I talked to Rebecca about it afterwards because she was there also, just like kind of surveying who was there, because she's a part of the league in Lethbridge and whatnot.
Yeah.
But she was saying how she thought that like over at least like 80% of the people that were there were brand new. She's never met them or seen them before.
Wow.
So that's good news, right? So
Yeah.
hopefully they can get plugged in. And I tried to help out a couple people to plug them into like leagues or like, I don't know, Facebook groups or anything like that. So yeah, it was really cool.
No, that's awesome. Obviously we go out to Smith Lake Farm for the disc golf clinic out there. If you do any sort of clinic, you're going to learn backhand, forehand, putting and all those sort of techniques. But actually emphasizing and learning more about the mental side of the game, and from someone who's going to win, knowing how to handle your emotions when you have either you have the pressure of being in the lead, or just maybe the round isn't going as well as it could be. Just handling that and just remembering that we're just out here throwing discs and we're having fun, right?
Exactly. And bringing it back to that, like every time we did a shot, or like say it was a backhand or a putt or a sidearm or anything like that, as we're going to get our discs, I was telling them during that moment, I was saying, okay, this is a time where I want you to think about one thing that you liked about that throw. Maybe you hated the throw. You could just tell yourself something kind. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Because like really, like positive affirmation and all of this positive self-talk, like that is what really kind of inspires you to keep going, or it kind of like almost fakes a little bit of confidence for yourself. So
100%.
Yeah, for myself, even if I'm putting in my backyard, I'll be like, if I miss one, I'll be like, oh, that was a good height, or oh, that was blah, 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 blah. Like I'll comment on it in a way where it won't get me into a negative headspace,
Yeah, 100%. I couldn't agree with you more.
Great information that I could have used. I needed
Next
to be
time
at
I'll
that
be your
event.
caddy, Jeremy. I'll come on the bag. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, also too, it's good to hear that 80% were new players, because you were up here for She's Up First. It was the biggest women's disc golf tournament in Canada, and we just want to see that momentum get bigger and bigger. So every time there are new players, it's getting them out for that first time and then giving them that great experience so that they'll come back. So winning the tournament, that's a big, huge, exciting thing, but that's a huge win for you too in making that happen. So thanks for doing that.
Definitely. Yeah, for sure. No, that was so important to me. And it is the honor of whoever won the FPO, I guess the year before. Okay. It is their honor to like accept first, right? And then if it doesn't work out, then Rebecca can find someone else. But it was definitely an honor that I was so happy to share with them.
Good stuff. Well, and we talked to Chantel about how they only had at the Foxwood Open, they just had a 4-player FPO card with the common friends and players that they normally play with. And that was similar to what happened in Lethbridge. You got to play with your good friend Amber Chason, with Terry Hong, and with kind of, I guess, newer FPO, Chelsea Sutton, right?
Up and coming.
Yeah, Sutton. You got it.
So how was that for you, for playing with the same 4 ladies all together for the weekend?
Honestly, we have the most fun together ever. And our rounds are just hilarious and the best. And I am so lucky. I feel like I am so lucky. I don't say it enough, but to have all these women that are there to support and to just encourage one another. And if there was a missed putt, or if there was we're able to like kind of like throw in like, what was that? Like, what are you doing there? Like, we're able to joke around with each other. Or if it's a great shot, we'll be like, no, seriously, that was amazing. Like, great shot. Like I feel like we're there to make each other feel kind of like the best that we can and lighten the mood. And it doesn't feel like a tournament round sometimes when I'm playing with them, because they're just so fun. And I always get a lot of time with them on the course, and I'm so lucky that I have that opportunity. So, yeah.
Jo just touched on it about being, always being positive, never being negative, always being in a positive headspace. We've interviewed Amber, such a great person, always focused. I don't think, we haven't spoke to Chelsea, but maybe in the future, I don't think you could be on a card with Terry and not have a good time.
Oh my gosh, seriously. She is hilarious. She cracks me up all the time. Sometimes she's like, as she's about to drive, she's like talking to herself, like, this is a bad idea, wrong disc. And she's like, she just goes and throws. And then, of course, it's like she fillets the shot and it's amazing. And it's just Terry doing Terry things. It's great.
Exactly. There you go.
And I can tell you, Daryl, I've had a chance now to see Chelsea a lot more as well and chat with her and talk with her. And she's right up there too. She's got such a positive attitude. So
she really does. Yeah. No, it's awesome having her on the card too. And she's come a long ways. She shot +3, I think, on the last day. And that was like, she was making some big putts, like big drives. Like she was doing really, really well. So it's cool.
That's good.
Yeah.
And I think the last thing I wanted to ask you about with the tournament side of it was just so people know, there's a video out there that you had got a chance to play the course and show off the new tee pads and everything else. And it's a great video and everybody should watch it and see what it is. But if they're looking at my score or your score or any other scores, they need to realize that was totally ideal conditions that day compared to what we ran into.
100%. I think in that video I shot like close to -5 or something like that. Wow. Oh my gosh, I did not come near that in the tournament. It was crazy. I was like, maybe I shouldn't have done a practice round. Like, it's kind of like making my round feel a little bit worse than it actually is. But I mean, that wind was challenging though, right, Jeremy? So
yeah. I think what it does is it tells people to give them the idea that that course can give you everything and anything under the sun or the wind, and be prepared for it when you go out there. But having those new tee pads was quite a game changer. It really made a difference this year for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, looking forward to 2026, it looks like you've signed up for a number of tournaments. You'll be traveling a little bit around Western Canada. What events are you signed up for, and which ones are you looking forward to most?
Looking forward to TCO. I think I took a week off. Actually, I used some personal days. So I'm going to be taking a week off so that I can go see my family, just kind of enjoy BC weather and enjoy Kamloops and enjoy those courses. Very excited to play that one. Excited for Canadian Nationals for sure. In Grand Prairie. Never been there, so I'm very excited to get up there. And then also not on the PDGA list, but I am actually headed to Lithuania this summer. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so pretty pumped about that one. And that one, we actually just booked our flights to Amsterdam. So we're going to be flying there on September 2nd, and we're going to be spending a couple days in Amsterdam just to kind of cure our jet lag and enjoy a new city or a new country, I guess, too, as well. So,
That's going to be so cool. And as you guys, as the team starts getting ready to go over, there's, this is something that a lot of the dollars to make this happen come out of your own pocket. Is there going to be ways for people to support you in the trip? Do you have anything coming down the pipe?
Yeah, hopefully we have some Canadian like merch coming soon. Hopefully, I'm hoping so. We're still talking to the team about when that will be available. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we want it to be available before July 1st, but we'll keep you guys updated on that. And then also we do have a GoFundMe. I think Jordan put that on, our Alberta rep. So,
cool.
So that would be also a way if there was anyone who wanted to support financially, that would be amazing. Also our sponsors. So any of the Canadian people going, you can kind of figure out who's sponsoring them or anything like that. And that would really, really help a lot for sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's roll right into that and ask you to tell us who your sponsors are and if there's anyone else or anything else you'd like to shout out.
For sure. I'm sponsored by Another Round Grip Equipment. You can use the code JO2026 if you're ordering on the site. Gets you 10% off, as well as Disc Republic, which I have code JO, which would support me as well. And then Another Round. Yeah. So that's all three of them.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And code JO, J-O. Just don't add an E or anything else.
Don't add
an
E, just J-O. You're right. Yeah. Thank you. Yes.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks for joining, Jo. Congratulations again on the win.
Thank you.
I'm sure we'll be talking to you maybe sometime in the future when you head out to TCO maybe, or maybe we'll definitely see you at Nationals. Yeah.
Yeah, you bet. Well, we missed you there, Daryl.
We did.
I hope
Thank
you had
you.
a
We
good
did
time.
talk about
Yeah.
it. Everyone
you.
wanted.
You
That
know-
was
Yeah.
one of the most common questions I got. I didn't get called Daryl this time. Everyone asked me where Daryl
Where's
was.
Daryl? Okay.
There you go. There you go.
Thank you. It's nice to be missed.
Oh,
Awesome. Thanks for your
thanks
time,
for having
Joe.
me on, guys. Yeah, thank you.
We'll
See you,
speak to you
Joe.
again soon.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Awesome. Man, this is good. We got
Yeah.
so many great guests. Do we got one more ready to go?
We got another guest lined up.
All right. This is your intro, my friend.
Yeah, you just got to give me 1 second.
Okay. One.
There we go. Okay, we're all switched over.
All right.
Okay, our last guest of the evening has been on an upward trend, winning 3 Canadian A tiers last year and taking down his first A tier of 2026 at the spring runoff. Please join us in welcoming Noah Higgins to the podcast.
Hey,
How's it
there
going,
he
guys?
is.
Good. How are you?
I'm great.
Good. Welcome back, Noah. It's, we just had you on a couple weeks ago talking about the tournament, and now you're back as the winner of this spring runoff, the MPO winner. Congratulations on that. How you feeling about it?
Great. Just absolutely fantastic. This is one that, I've won spring runoff a couple times, but never as the A tier. It was an A tier starting last year, and I wasn't able to do it last year. So being able to take this one down to my home courses in my hometown just feels spectacular, and I'm already can't wait for next year. And we're believe it or not, we're already working on next year.
Did you even take a half a breath or something to relax before you started thinking of next year, or no?
Maybe a quarter breath. That's about it.
Good stuff.
It's never ending. It's 12 months a year.
Wow. Yeah, I don't think people realize that, right?
Well, we have spoken to TDs before about, is everything, have you done all the payouts? Have you settled down? Have you had a chance to take a breath? Are you working on next year? And people are normally like, well, let's just get this one out of the way first. Let's take, but it seems like as soon as one's done, last putt goes in, you're already working on the next year.
Yeah, it's always crazy. It's like, you work on it for 11 and a half months a year. Well, I shouldn't take all the credit. I mean, Rebecca does 90% of it, but I guess I do a lot of the work when it comes to the week of, as far as setting up the courses and all that sort of jazz. But yeah, it's crazy. It just never ends. It's we've been running it now for 7 years. Let me count the discs on the wall. 7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's pretty much 7 straight years of work.
Well, and that's it. Like, because not only do you play this tournament, you also help set it up and you work on that. And we were asking Joe about it, but what were the general comments from people there? Because they had you right there on your change with that hole 3 raised basket. Did you get a lot of comments from people?
Honestly, not really. I didn't hear much negative feedback, which was good by me.
Yeah.
I just I wanted to make the course have a little bit of flavor. Sometimes, obviously this weekend the weather was a little bit crazy, but in nice conditions at Nicholas Sharon, the course can get a little bit repetitive at times, I feel, and just adding some spice in there. I did have one at Connell. He meant no harm, but he had an unfortunate series of events on the putting green on hole 3 on round 1, and he just turned to me and said, "Thanks, Noah." So, I got a laugh out of that.
Fair.
Well, and that's what we said, though, Noah. It's perfect because you're right. That hole would normally be a fairly standard par 3 when you get to the basket, but it really made you make some decisions. And if you made the right decision, you still got that par. If you made the wrong decision, you might have had a 5 or a 6. And that's what you want in a course. You want holes that are separator holes. So I think you achieved it for sure.
For sure. And it didn't do me any damage, which is great. I was a little worried I was gonna bite myself in the butt, but I made good putts on both rounds on that basket, so it ended up doing good things for me in the end.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned there about having 7 discs on the wall, 7 years you've been running it. This is your 3rd time that you've won the event. Last 2 times you won it, if you didn't know, 2022 and 2024. You won it in 2026. So I guess you just winning in odd, even number years?
Yeah. Well, I told the guys as we were walking off the 18th green after the kind of little award ceremony was done, after presenting the trophies and stuff. I told the guys, come back next year because I'm not going to win. I'll have no chance. So it won't be me next year because I guess I like winning on even years.
How did it feel winning this year?
It felt great. I never really, I shouldn't say never really lost it, but I for the most part, 95% of the way through the tournament, I was winning the tournament the entire time. There was small stretches where I wasn't. I had a little bit of a rocky start in the very first round. Like for the first few holes, I went like par, bogey, par, or something like that. I was one over the first 4 holes, and I fell back a little bit. But I mean, that's 4 holes into a 3-round tournament. It really means nothing. And then even coming down the stretch, I ended up winning by 4 strokes in the end. But after hole 12 of the final round, with 6 holes left, Connell was outright winning by 1 stroke, and I just pulled back in the end and pulled away at the end to win. And even though I won by 4 strokes, it certainly didn't feel like that. It felt like a 1-stroke or 2-stroke win. And even through 2/3 of that final round, it just felt like we were destined for a playoff. I was almost already, I had a lot of work to do still to get myself even to that position, but I was already sort of mentally preparing myself for that, because it just felt like it was destined to happen. Connell and I had been so neck and neck the whole tournament. And in the end, it felt great. Going into the 18th hole, I had a 3-stroke lead. I had my brother Julian on my bag, which is really awesome. And I turned to said to him, I said, pretty much a lock now. And that felt great to say. Just getting to kind of take the victory lap on hole 18 is always a good feeling.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Well, and as we were talking about it, we had Wyatt Mahoney on earlier. He's a 16-year-old who's a younger guy just getting into the sport. You've come into the sport from a young age. And then Connell, a little bit younger than you, has been coming in. What's it been like when you have a guy like Connell where you don't see him for a year and he's still in his growth phase and he shows up and you've battled with him every year? Is there a little bit of, oh, this is what we got to do this year? You've grown another inch or something like that?
Yeah. Connell is so good, and he's got so much potential and so much talent. And he's almost starting to remind me of Casey Hannemeyer a little bit from when we were from 5 years ago or so. If I had a chance to get myself in a battle with Casey, let's say we're on a hole and I am parked for birdie. Casey is 60 feet out for birdie, and I'm like, there's no way he's going to make the putt. Like, I got a stroke on him here. And then he makes a 60-footer, and then it drains all your momentum you felt like you had. That's honestly, Connell's starting to remind me of that too. And yeah, I just can't say enough good things about him. Not only is he an amazing disc golfer, he's a great kid, and I'm super looking forward to tons more battles coming in the future with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, and he's been good to watch. And I think even as we were sitting in our Airbnb preparing each day for the tournament, we were watching the Park Pro coverage. And even back then, he had that really big putt on aperture on the back when he went out of bounds on hole 11 or 12 there, and then putted it in. So that was a replay for us. But I want to talk more about your rounds. And the round in specifically was when I looked at the scorecard in round 2, you got 10 out of 11 birdies on the first 11 holes. Mm-hmm. And that was in that crazy wind as well. That's so impressive. What was going on? Were you even surprised with the way the weather was and getting all of those birdies?
Yeah, for sure. I surprised myself a little bit. There was definitely a couple of good breaks in there that helped, but obviously, you can't get the good breaks without being a good player. So, starting on hole 1, that hole 1 from the long tees, I think, is only about 300 feet, but there was such a strong headwind that I normally go putter on that hole. I threw a driver, I threw an FX4 on a super severe hyzer playing the flip, and it just kind of went way up in the air. It was honestly not a great shot, turned way to the right and then came back and then hit the tree, at the very top of the tree right next to the basket and dropped right down. It was parked. Should have been 100 feet left. And then, I had an eagle putt on 2, missed that, tapped in the birdie, kind of cruised through 3 and 4. And then I made a huge putt on hole 5 through the trees, almost outside circle 2, which was a little surprising with a big headwind. And on hole 6, I absolutely shanked my drive. On hole 6 from the blues at aperture, I throw a hyzer kind of over the hillside into the green. Mm-hmm. And I hit the very top of that big bushy tree going way, way left. And it hit the top of that tree, hit a branch in it, kicked straight down right, almost aced, and was parked.
Oh, wow.
It was just one of those days where I was okay, maybe this is my day where I just can't really do anything wrong. And then, I got through 7 for 7. Then hole 8 got me a little bit, unfortunately, but kept it cruising. And then from there, I lost my my buzz, I guess, a little bit towards the end of the round, but it still worked out great. In the past, Aperture has been the course that has killed me in this tournament. I've always played good at Nicholas Sharon, and I have a tendency to go out in the second round at Aperture and totally play myself out of it. So to come out still leading the tournament by 1 stroke after the second round at Aperture felt great, and really boosted my confidence going into the second round.
Yeah. That's good to hear too, because Nicholas Sharon, for a lot of us, we don't have the big arm like you, so that would be the tougher course. But here that Aperture was, and then to play that well, yeah, you just had to be. That would just added to the confidence.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Anytime you can get 10 out of 11 birdies,
definitely.
Yeah.
Now, another thing, and I'll get back to you here one second,
go ahead.
while I was there, we talked about it, but now I've got one in my hands. I was showing it off earlier, one of your Noah Higgins discs that you have out this year. This is one of the PA5s that I picked up, and you signed it. We're going to give that one away to people who participate in our fantasy league. You had a number of discs there, but they were disappearing pretty quick. What did you finish up with? Did you have any left at the end?
Yeah, I did. I've probably only got about 40 discs left, so that's great. That's a great start. I've sold 60% of them so far through this year. I only started with 100. I can get more if I need them, but
Nice.
yeah, only started with 100. I've already sold 60% of them, and it's only May, so that's awesome. At $25 a piece, that really helps towards my season, and especially towards the trip to Lithuania with Joe and Rob. So yeah, that's really awesome, and I really appreciate everyone's support buying those. And they're super nice discs too, so you get a little something for yourself as well.
Well, that's it. The PA5 is good. I got myself one of the F9s like we talked about, so that's good. And it was nice to have something in that mid-range that was understable, right? Because I've got a really understable, or not mid-range, fairway, because I have a really understable mid-range and some drivers, but have something in that slot, so that was good. And I think, is it the FX4s is the other disc that you have, or...
The FX4s, so I have 2 stamps. There are 2 like Tour Series discs, if you will, this year. Yep. My actual Tour Series disc through the core team with Prodigy is the FX4, the 500 Spectrum FX4. But those are only available through retailers and online. I don't have them in person. I also got 100, like we were just talking about, of the Moose Stamp discs, which I have F9s, PA5s, MX2s, and I'm drawing a blank. I can't remember what the other one is. MX2s, F9s, PA5s, and I'm drawing a total blank. There's something else in there, but yeah.
I'm sure you probably mentioned it when we were interviewing you for the TD interview. So go back and watch that episode. I'm sure you mentioned it on there as well. Yeah. If not,
I'll probably come back to me in 5 minutes and I'll blurt it out. Oh,
interject it. Yeah. Well, and that's it. So people can always reach out to you that way to get them on Instagram or on Facebook are 2 of the good ways to reach out to you, right?
You got it.
A2s.
Oh, A2s.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, one of our buddies there, Tyler, was there, and he loves an A2 and throws those all over the course. So that's a good one. I think the
reason I couldn't remember is there's only like 1 or 2 left. They're the most popular ones by far.
Yeah. So you got to be quick if you want one of those last ones. But did you see a couple comments in the chat there?
I did. Yeah. So Kevin King, he's got a question for you. What was the general feedback about the tee pads at both courses? Obviously now with the new tee pads at Nick Sharon and Aperture. Did you get any? You must have had some great feedback on that from previous years.
For sure, yeah. The tee pads at Nicholas Sharon, I think the general consensus was that the course is much harder than it used to be with the slightly different layouts. But having those concrete tee pads are awesome. Unfortunately, with the concrete tee pads, Nicholas Sharon, when they get a little wet, they're a little bit slippery, which is kind of unfortunate. But for the most part, they're great. On a nice day, they're awesome, and they're still fine to play off of even in inclement weather. So yeah, I think mainly just the general consensus was that the course was harder. It was less about the tee pads themselves, I think, and more about the layout that it has now. Didn't hear much good or bad about the tee pads, which is fine.
Good.
I mean, I think having concrete tee pads or turf or whatever at a disc golf course nowadays is a standard, so it's kind of something that one would expect. And then over at Aperture, like on the blues at Aperture, we have concrete tee pads on the front 9, which are great, but the back 9 still isn't done. So when I went out and set up the courses, moved a couple of the tee pads on the back 9 just a little bit to get them out of the dirt so that if it was wet, wouldn't be thrown out of a mud pit, and that seemed to work great. So yeah, just the general consensus was that Nicholas Sharon was harder, is what I found.
Right.
Yeah, those minor changes that he made really paid off. It took out the roots out of play and some of the things like that, so that was good. But I'll tell you, and because we haven't talked about this yet, talking about Nicholas Sharon getting a little bit more difficult, one of the things I noticed, Noah, and I thought it was just me having a bad round, right? I just thought it was maybe I was not playing so well. But even from the whites, so the middle pads, so anybody listening there's an island hole. It is 199 feet. It is nothing for most of us players. We can all throw that far. We can all get over the island. And yet somehow I still managed to put one short into the water on my first round. And I was kind of beating myself up over it. But then another guy on my card did. I talked to people after the round. So it was amazing how one of technically what should be one of the easier holes for the shorter tee pads was playing as hard as it was. So you're right. Just those positioning of the tee pads was enough to give a little bit more teeth than what I'd experienced in previous years. And I like that. So
yeah, for sure. And in your defense, the weather wasn't actually ideal. So I'm sure the wind had something to do with that too. I'm sure on a nice day you'd get it just fine.
That's right. Yeah. Throwing like a Berg-like disc in the wind is asking for trouble anyway. So
going back to the tee pads, even if it is a little slick and in inclement weather, I'll take a little bit slippy over playing in mud.
Yes. Yeah.
Any day. So
it's far less slippery than mud is.
There you go. Yeah. Well, if we kind of switch gears a little bit, and I know we kind of did the TD preview a couple of weeks ago, but looking at it from a committee point of view, how did the tournament go that way?
Every year spring runoff is, you do all the work leading up to it, and then the days of the tournament is always by far the easiest part. It's just you've got everything out of the way. It's all smooth sailing. There's really, really not much to it. I mean, when you're running an A tier with the being at the tee pad 5 minutes before your round rule, there's a little bit to that. We had to hand out a few 2-stroke penalties for people being, showing up to their tee pad 30 seconds before instead of the 5 minutes they're supposed to be. But other than that, it was really easy. We had Murray over at Nicholas Sharon. You probably heard him say "it's time" about 1,000 times. You could hear him across the park for every tee pad. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. And he made it super easy to where Rebecca didn't have to be out there. Rebecca could be in the TD tent dealing with whatever she needs to. And then we had Matt Mitten, our main assistant TD over at Aperture Park, and he did amazing over there. We didn't even have to think about Aperture once the entire weekend. It was just all in Nicholas Sharon. It was all in Matt's hands, and he did great. So there was really not much to it, honestly. It's just kind of be there in case something happens. But it all comes down to your prep work and how well you prepare for a big event like this. And once that's all out of the way, it's just smooth sailing. And we were just kind of huddled around the fire pit in the TD tent and trying to stay warm. And that was about it.
I want to ask you, from your point of view, when you're playing, but you're still on the committee, you're still, kind of hands in a little bit. How much time before your tee time do you say, okay, this is like I'm out of committee mindset now. Now I need to think on tournament play?
Yeah, it's kind of a strange kind of feeling being there, like being a TD and then having to totally switch gears and focus on my game. I mean, if I'm being totally honest, I would get out of bed at 7:30. I'd put some sweatpants and a hoodie on, and then I'd be in my truck at 7:45, and we'd go to the course, and I would hang out for a few hours in the morning and help with whatever I could, and then I would usually I'd go back home because we only live like 4 minutes from the course, so I would just run back home an hour and a half early, change, shower, do whatever I need to, get my bag ready to go, get everything ready to go, and then come back to the course. Usually my standard warm-up time for a tournament is about 45 minutes to an hour. So I get to the course and just kind of check in, make sure everything's all right. And then I pop my AirPods in or whatever I need to do and then switch gears and focus on how I'm going to play today.
Yeah. And then as soon as you put that putt in on 18, is it tournament is off and then back to where do you need me? You need flags, you need water on a hole, you need straight back into committee mindset again?
Cleaning up and stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah, we have such a great team with my Auntie Cindy and my mom and everyone else who helps. Honestly, like my truck gets left there at the tent on the grass, and I'm done my round because I was on lead card, the last card of the day, every day, and I'm done my round and I get back to the tent and everything's packed in the truck, ready to go, and I get in it and we go home and relax for the night. So that's super awesome for me. Just getting to debrief, and obviously 18 holes at Nicholas Sharon, 3.5 hour rounds. I'm tired. I don't have the energy or the will to want to really do anything. So it's really nice to just have that all done and to just go home and relax after that with such an amazing team.
Yeah. And I think we should probably shout out Auntie Cindy there too with this amazing spring runoff hanging that I've got here, this glass one painted with the awesome logo on it. I was excited that I was on the ball this year, Noah. I remember from last year I was waiting right there, making sure I got my bid in before the time was out, and got a couple of the awesome silent auction prizes.
Did you have anybody lurking over your shoulder? Was there a couple bidding wars?
I did have a couple of people come back to me the next day and say, "Hey, you scooped me," and I'm like, "Hey, you got to be there."
There you go.
I had to learn the hard way. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
my Auntie Cindy, she does amazing work with the stained glass. She really enjoys doing it, and it adds a huge part to our silent auction there. And that one that you got is amazing.
Yes,
I might get her to make me one just like it, so we can have one too. But yeah, she does amazing work, and the stuff she does throughout the weekend. Like, she's not a disc golfer at all, but she really enjoys disc golf without playing disc golf, if that makes sense. And just being around everyone. And I gave her a basket a few years ago, and we go over for family dinners and stuff, and then gave her the basket mainly so that I could just putt in the backyard. But yeah, she's awesome, and she really enjoys the spring runoff weekend.
Oh, that's good. And I think one thing too I remembered, I just recalled, is another thing that if you want to be a champ like Noah, he was sitting there. I didn't want to jinx anything and say it was the meal of champions before.
Okay.
But we talked about how amazing the two guys in a pizza place was.
Yeah.
Well, that was the pre-final round meal.
Okay.
And then he goes out and just takes it down.
There you go.
Yeah, I was sitting there eating half a cold pizza and a Coke Zero, and I said, "Is this peak athleticism?"
Did you happen to take down a pizza this weekend?
No, I did. We didn't really.
That's why you
yeah, that was why you
finished 11th.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, now that you have this A tier under your belt, what's up next for you? What's your plans for 2026?
Just going in order next weekend. I mean, actually, I'm leaving like in 2 days, but just Fernie Tourney, 1 day C tier, smaller event, but super fun. Really like going to that one. After the Fernie Tourney, it'll be Big Bear, which is just a B tier, but it's got a big MPO field. I think there's like 40 MPO. So really excited for Big Bear. After that, oh man, I've got a tournament every single weekend until like the middle of August as of right now. So it's honestly hard to remember them all off the top of my head. I finished one tournament and I'm like, where am I going next weekend? Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
I did look at that. It was just weekend after weekend after weekend, and then you're going to have Lithuania on your mind. So it's a big year, so there'll be lots for everyone to watch as you play this year.
Yeah.
For sure.
Perfect.
And so Noah, that's kind of all the questions that we had. I'm going to tell, we won't spoil it here, but I'm going to tell everybody that, although I didn't play that well this weekend, I did beach at something this weekend, but we'll save that for later on in the around the basket portion of the episode. But before we let you go, do you want to take some time to shout out your sponsors or anything else that we didn't cover?
Yeah, my only sponsor this year, but obviously the biggest and provides everything for me that I need is Prodigy Disc. I'm on the core team this year, and they do everything I could ever hope for me. And just absolutely couldn't do without Prodigy Disc. As far as spring runoff goes this weekend, just absolutely want to thank Rebecca, my Auntie Cindy, anyone who helped, Murray, Matt Mitten, anyone else I'm forgetting that helped out this weekend. You guys made it all possible, and just cannot thank you enough. Also had my brother Julian, caddy for me in the final round there, which was awesome. Super nice to have my brother on the bag, which, just super wholesome, and really enjoyed that. My dad was there to watch the last few holes. So everyone who came out to support me personally, support the tournament. Your support means the world, and thank you so much for everything. And we can't wait to have you guys back next year.
Awesome.
Perfect. We had a quick last second question come in on the chat here.
Yeah.
Is Noah gonna bag the Nerf discs?
I feel like 100 grams is probably a little light, but and especially considering I live in Lethbridge where there's always wind.
Exactly.
Probably not, but maybe for like a little backyard, I could chuck them at my brother or something. Maybe they won't hurt as
There you
bad.
go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome, Noah. That's great. And we appreciate all that you do with this tournament. It's a great way to start the season, and we'll be cheering you on for the rest of it here, and hopefully chatting with you again and again as you keep bringing in the wins.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Awesome. Thanks for your time, Noah.
You bet.
Well, Daryl,
Yeah.
that was one of those big whirlwind episodes, and it delivered.
Absolutely. Yeah. We always love doing the A-tier recaps. And when we get this first one of the season is always the doubleheader, Foxwood and Spring Runoff.
Mm-hmm.
Getting the winners on from both of them is always a good episode.
Yeah, and I think that's where, we ask our guests if they have anyone they want to thank. I think, we always want to thank our listeners for tuning into our episodes for sure, but also thank you to the guests because we're not giving them a lot of time. Monday was the long weekend and they all just finished their wins, and we're reaching out to them and trying to organize and get them to come on. And all 4 of them said yes. All 4 of them joined us, and all 4 of them just did an amazing job tonight. So,
and the fact that we had people that we had to accommodate in Ontario and in Alberta as well.
That's right. We got multiple time zones.
Same episode, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. And pre-thanks, and if you are participating in the DEP Open, which is the next A-tier coming up, it's going to be even an hour later for them. So we thank you in advance. When you do say yes, please and thank you. But it was awesome that way. Appreciate it. And, anybody listening to this podcast at this point, we know you're probably already subscribed on YouTube, but if you aren't, jump over there and do that. Drop a comment, drop a like, start thinking of a secret word. We'll talk more about that in a second. You can head over to Instagram. You can head over to Facebook. And why don't we every once in a while we shout this one out, but we have a lot of audio listeners who are listening to this one, not live with us tonight like you are, but maybe the next day. If you're an audio listener, hop over to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you're listening to us, leave a rating, leave a review. That's another way that you can help grow the podcast and get us to have more prizes, more guests, more everything.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
We love it.
That's right. And what else, Daryl? Also, too, always Patreon.
Always
you can join
Patreon.
us there.
Yes.
Free ways to join us. There's paid ways. Paid ways get you discounts on gear, like our brand new hats. They get you free entry into draws, special content like
Discount on
that
the
live
jerseys.
Nate Sexton interview that we did, and they were able to watch us do that.
Yeah.
So
all the behind the scenes. Yeah.
That's
weekly around the baskets, like you said, where we talk disc golf, we banter, we have quizzes, we have a lot more on there.
And in this week, you'll get to find out what did I actually beat Noah at. Because I know you're
I'm
just
interested.
chomping at the bit.
I don't know what it is, but yeah.
So, you could even see he shook his head. He's like,
just
man,
gonna
this guy
say.
beat me.
Yeah.
He knows.
He's holding on to this one thing.
That's it. That's right.
Yeah.
I didn't do much this week. And we'll talk all about that in a little bit here. So you can check that out for sure. What else?
Secret word time.
Yeah, secret word.
Let's ask the chat. If you've, for people that we always like to say, if you've watched this video after the fact, if you've been watching it on YouTube or even listening, if you've made it this far in the episode, we like to give a shout out as a secret word. Drop that word in the comments, or like you said, leave it in the review on the podcast wherever you're listening. That just shows us that you've listened this far into the episode, and we appreciate it. We don't just want you to put in one single word or anything like that. We like to come up with a word that maybe you can slip into a phrase. So if anyone's got a secret word from the chat, that would be good for us to put in. I'm thinking...
if we were just talking some discs, maybe I thought there was Enforcer. That was Wyatt's.
There was Enforcer.
Mako was one of Chantel's favorites.
Yeah.
We know that Noah likes his FX4. I don't know how you get
Joe
that
loves
there.
his own.
That's true.
Yeah. You can put any of those.
That's right. She was throwing her zone a lot, and she had it with her awesome stamp on it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a passion because that's what I bought from her.
Because it's always a passion.
Yes,
what
but
they
it
say.
was actually a zone.
Yeah.
So those are some of the words you could throw in there for
or
sure.
even come up with your own secret word, or even just leave a comment saying thanks and how much you enjoyed the episode.
Yeah.
Raised basket. There you go.
Raised basket. That's another good one. Thanks,
Yeah.
Sonia. And one thing we like to do is if you do put a comment in YouTube, we usually I don't think we ever miss getting a comment back to you. So we'll always reply to you.
Absolutely.
Yep. Perfect. Well, who knows what time it is now? I'm not even going to tell people what time it is. Do they know what time it is, Daryl?
Sonia already knows what time it is.
Does she know what time it is? Is there who normally joins in just at this point? Maybe Tanya's done watching the 50th Survivor finale episode thing. She's tuning in now, and you know why she's tuning in.
Why she's tuning in, Jeremy?
Let's see. Do we got anything? I just was trying to let the chat catch up.
Oh yeah, they're here for it. They're waiting for it.
Yeah, it's time for the draft.
Do you know what, Jeremy?
What?
I got a surprise for you.
You got a surprise?
I do.
Ooh, I'm excited.
We got beats.
No, we don't.
I pushed the wrong button.
We got
That's
beats?
the subscribe button.
Subscribe.
We got beats. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Well, I'm going to start it, then I'll restart it, okay?
Okay, just to get a flavor.
Yeah, we got beats this week. Are you here for it?
Oh, I'm here for it.
Okay, you ready?
Okay.
Hopefully it fits.
You'll make it fit.
Hopefully they can hear it.
I'm going to be a little like
Canadian A-tiers were rolling all weekend long.
from Baden to Lethbridge, the competition was strong.
4 pros stepped up and all earned their wins.
They jumped on the podcast and we're all wearing grins.
Chantel won the 4-banger to keep her Foxwood throne.
Young Wyatt beat Canada's best. He was in the zone.
Jo battled the cold while her hand stayed red hot.
Noah kept scoring birdies shot after shot.
Edgar's #1 tag is now out in the wild.
With a playoff win, Kristen took it in style.
Come back next week with a glass of your favorite stout.
Sit back, relax, and you can enjoy another.
Chain out. Oh, they can't hear the music.
Oh no!
Oh, well, it was all in my ears.
Chain out.